Okay, so now in here, what else you could do is you could connect. You type SSH, right? You type SSH and then name of the computer. Okay, right now we are not able to connect using the computer name. Okay, why are we not able to connect using the computer name? Because we have to set up DNS. We'll set up DNS next. Okay, so now let me think. We have, so in here cat slash etc slash. Okay, so if you want to connect using a different name, you just have to type SSH like Zafar at then the IP address. Okay, SSH. Okay, and then it will ask you again here because the password is set up between uh, I'm sorry, the each time you connect. Okay, over here we typed without anything, so it will connect using root. And if you specify name, so you have to have the user on this side for you to be able to connect here. So if there is no user, even though if I type yes, and then if I give a password here, it will ask for a couple times here, I think. And it will error out. Okay. Connect as user. So all you have to do is do this here. And it will ask you for the password. Okay, it will ask you, this message will come up for the first time. Second time, it will not show up. So if you are connected in there, let's connect as root. So each time you connect, it will ask you for the password here. So if I type host name here, it will give me zmpt02prod.zmprotech.com here. Okay, if I do ls clear host name, so I'm connected into this box. Okay, from that as a system, I'm connected into this system on the bottom. Okay, so I could do everything, anything and everything as if I'm logged into that system directly. Okay, so you could perform all the system administration task. Like if you do ls, you could do, if you do like configure something here, vi etc. Uh, let's see here, vi etc password, no, vi etc fs tab. You could go in there and do everything you want. connect as user. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to establish exit here. So I'm back to my own host. I'm back to my default host, which I connected directly here. So what we're going to do is we'll set up passwordless configuration. Okay, what does it mean is when you are connecting here, you type the SSH and then the password, the IP address. In future, we're going to be using the host name. There will be a computer name to perform the task here. But if you're doing this and if you hit enter, it's asking for the password, right? What we're going to do is we're going to set up a trust between two systems that it will not ask for the password. Okay? Exactly. It will not ask for the password in Linux environment. This is allowed because you will be managing thousands of servers and then you will be running a script simultaneously on like hundreds and thousands of servers. What will it do is each time it's going to ask you, stop you and ask you for the password. It's not going to be efficient. Okay, so we'll work on that. So let's do a passwordless configuration. Before that, actually, okay, it's as secure as a computer. The key is the setting encrypted. Okay, so we are setting up a encryption key on the both sides. What is the use case? Okay, I'll explain you. I'm not finding good information here. Or maybe let me look at the picture. You guys could see my screen?
थोड़ा साइज बड़ा है तो मेहरबानी साहब
Okay, give me 1 second here. So, okay, I'm gonna type SSH. Can't go into images, I don't know why. Give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, it's working now. So let me take a look here. Okay, this looks good. Give me 1 second here, guys. When I copy this, it does not want to. Okay, this is a good picture. So what we're gonna do is we have this. We're gonna use this method to connect from one client to another client here. Okay, in this case, this will be ZMPT ZMPT01 dot ZMPT1 dot prod at zmprotech.com. Okay, and the second one will be okay, so we're dealing with these two servers. Encrypted message and decrypts. Okay, good. So this is the after the fact here. So what we're gonna do is first set up the passwordless here. Okay, so if when we need to set a password, oh god, give me 1 second here. I want to see. We have to connect to the internet to download some packages here. So I'm gonna shut down this system here. Init 0 and init 0 also. Okay, so in here I'm going to go into network and I think we have two adapters here. Let's add the third one and select NAT network, and this should be allow all. Okay, and then for the second box I'm going to do the same thing too. Both are good. Third one is going to be NAT network and allow all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start both of them. What the NAT network does, it will give us the access to the internet. Right now we are working only on intranet. We don't have internet here. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm going to restart the service session. Login as root. Login. And log in here also. Okay, so what I need to do now is we need to install the package here. Okay, we're gonna do a passwordless connection, and the files needed is install the packages. Okay, I'm gonna go over, there is a big chapter about installing and upgrading and all the software, but for now I will just go through this here. I'm gonna say yum install, okay, and open server and open SSH client -y yum open SSH. Okay, so I'm installing two packages here. Okay, you know what, yeah, let me,
You just increase the size of the script.
oh, this one, okay.
And the screen also, if you just make it a little big, that is better.
For that you have to adjust it on your screen. My screen is at full capacity. Is that what you're asking, or are you
यस,
not?
वो भी सही है। नहीं नहीं, मेरे पास भी, मैं फुल कैपेसिटी पे हूँ। आपका स्क्रीन जस्ट थोड़ा सा आ रहा है मेरे पास, असल में इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ।
Okay. Okay, तो ये पूरा मैं तो फुल स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहा हूँ.
Yeah, you can. He can put. If he has a phone, he can put wide it.
You talking to me?
वाइड व्हाट वर,
Is this good?
ठीक है, चला ठीक है।
Okay, so you need to install the packages. So -y, that means it will automatically
On
continue.
both server, right?
Okay, so these two are already installed here. Okay, so we don't need to do anything else. So now what we have to do is we have to configure the files. So let's go ahead and do that.
Do we have to install on both sides or one side here?
Both sides, but I think both sides are there. Let's see here. So open SSH is installed on both sides. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is there is a folder. What folder is that? If you go to cd /etc ssh and ssh_config. Okay, this is the file, I think. Okay, this is the configuration file. You know what? Let me establish the SSH first before I do this here. Okay, so what I want to do is clear this. Clear this. I want to create a fingerprint. I want to create a fingerprint key. Okay? So if you do ls-la, here there is a folder called SSH, right? You go into .ssh folder. If it's anything starting with dot, what does it mean? It's hidden, right? If you do ls here, ls-l, there is a file already named host, known hosts. So let me go into cat known. So what is happening here is this known host file, when we did very first time SSH, remember when we did very first time SSH, it stopped at one place and it said, it gave this output here, right? So what this output does is it will give you the, it will pass on the keys, fingerprint keys. Okay, let's keep this as a fingerprint keys here. Okay, so I think you have 151. So I have connected to this server here. Using this box, I connected to this server, which is the assignment server here, right? And this is too confusing here. Let me establish the connection, then we'll go forward. Okay, so let me clear this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type SSH hyphen keygen. What it will do is it will generate the key. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter and says generating public key RSA key. Okay, enter the file in which to save. So what it's going to do is it's going to go in there and it will automatically save the file in there as ID_RSA. When we were in this file, we didn't have this file in there. Okay, now it will create one. So I'm going to simply hit enter here, and then you could even attach a password in here. So I'm not going to do that. I'll just hit enter. Okay, we're going to hit enter again. So what it did was it created a file, which it created this file here. RSA ID is a public key, and RSA ID_pub is a public key. I'm sorry, this one is a private and this one is a public key. Let's look at the picture. So in picture it created public key and the private key. Okay, it has two keys in here. So let me copy this. Generate SSH keys. So what it will do is it will generate private and public key. So this one is, so over here we hit enter,
without giving a password.
yeah, without giving a password, no password. Okay, and hit enter again because we don't need to give the password here. Okay, and what it does, it generates two keys in this folder here.
साहब वो एंटर है, नेटर है साहब,
जी
नेटर लिखा गया है शायद एंटर के बजाय।
hit enter. Okay, so it will generate private key, and it also generates a public key. Okay, so if we go in here, cds.ssh, and then enter ls-la. So what it did was, you could look at the timestamp here. It created the public and private key here. We'll talk about known hosts in a minute. Okay, .pub is public key. And this is the known host. I'll talk about this in a minute, okay? Okay, on the other box, the box we're going to connect to. By the way, you could use the terms at your work: box, machine, server, all this computer, all these things referred to as a Linux host. You could use a host. What's the host name? These are the things you talk among your colleagues when you're working here. What's the box name, or what's the box number, what's the box IP? Okay, what they're referring to is they're referring to the host name, one of those things. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this key, and then it will copy to this server here on the bottom, and then put it into the known host file. Okay, so let's do ls-la. So there is a .ssh folder in there. Okay, ls-l. So what will happen here is known host, it should be only known host here. Okay, there is one known host here. I think I use this to connect to the server here, and it has this alphanumeric ID here. Okay, look at this ID. How big is this? I mean, this is the only freaking ID in the world. Nobody else could match this here. Okay, it's alphanumeric. So this is all these numbers. It goes to like, I mean, you have to have this key for you to be able to establish the connection here. Okay. So now on the place where I'm connecting from, I type this command here. Okay. So the command is SSH copy SSH. Let me clear this. Okay, so copy public key to the host. To the host you want to establish passwordless connection. Okay, what is the command? Command is clear SSH hyphen copy hyphen ID, and then I'm gonna give the IP address from this side. So the IP address for this box is use the bond 01. Okay, you don't have to have bonding continue on all the way throughout the course here. Okay, I just have it so that it looks nice. 56. Yeah, we've been connecting to 56.51. Okay, so you type SSH hyphen copy hyphen ID and then the IP address. Okay, so let me clear this. I do ls hyphen l. Okay, so I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, now what it's doing is it's copying the ID to this server here. So with the SSH now it needs password because it's not established yet. The passwordless is not established yet. Okay, now it says it added key. So let's do this ls-a. Okay, now it says authorized keys are here. So there is a file is generated here on this side. It's called authorized keys. Which is authorized keys is going to be, if we're going to do cat, before that let me copy this. Okay, so what happens on the remote server, the authorized keys file is generated. Okay, I'm typing the host name so that you see the difference there. Let me type it here too. Okay, so what happened here is authorized key got copied here. Okay, this key was generated. So let's do cat authorized keys dot sh here. So if you compare this with the RSA dot public key, it will match. Okay, so let's take a look here. See why. Okay, you see this part is matching. Okay, and this part is matching. Yeah, all the way from here to here is same exact thing. So what happened? This key got copied on this side here. So next time this server is going to connect, the key is already there. So this server, the server as ZMPT01 is authorized to connect to ZMPT2. Okay. So now copy the public key to the host you want to establish passwordless connection. Okay, so here I'm gonna copy this. And I'm gonna copy this. Okay, note both keys are identical. Okay, so let's take a look at the picture. So what happened? It copied the public key. So all these things is there. We connect. We encrypt message using the public key sent. Decrypt message is sent, and then the connection is established. Okay. This is a little bit advanced here how the connection is set up. Oh, we already did network here, right? Did we did network, TCP, IP, and all that protocol?
Right. So,
Yeah, this is a TCP protocol exchange happening because it's a connection oriented. Let me see. Let me make sure we did this already here. I usually do it. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the TCP connection here. Sync, syncac, ACK. The first one is syncing, and the second one is sync ACK, ACK, and then the third one is ACK. Connection disconnection. And so the three-way handshake, all these two things are establishing at the fraction of a second here. Connection and disconnection. So if you are in an interview, all you have to do is say finacac. I have an interview question set up here. You don't have to worry about it. I have all those in there, but I'm just telling you here. So this is the connection which is establishing right now. I will worry about broadcast later. So now the keys are copied here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do something like this. and okay, and same thing here. All right, that's good enough here. Okay, I'm gonna copy this sucker. Okay, so this is there. Now let's test the connection. Test the connection. Okay, let me clear this. And what I'm going to do is SSH and the IP address. What is the IP address? SSH. What it's going to do now is if I hit enter, it should never ask me for the password. If it does, then there is something wrong. We didn't do it. So I'm hitting enter here. And there you go. It connected. You see the difference here? ZMPT02 and ZMPT01. Okay? You connected without a password. The only reason it's being allowed is because this is matching with what is already have. It already have done the handshake. You know, I mean, वो पुराने देसी मूवी में होता देखो यार, स्मगलिंग हो रही, नोट आधा फाड़ के दे देते उन लोगों को, जब एक्सचेंज करना है पैसे तो नोट बराबर मैच होता, दैट्स इट, दे डू द डील, राइट? तो वो मामला है. Okay, so the password is established here. I'm sorry, SSH without password is established. Now, this is set up on thousands of computers here. So now it goes back to the trust factor here. Remember, long time ago I said when the class started, if you have a root access, never share the root key. Okay, if you get into one server, administrator, never share the password here. Okay, if you get in as administrator, you will literally have access to thousands of servers. Okay, so this is good. Oh, in fact, I just noticed it here. It even carried the host name here. You see, it's going to connect using the ZMPT1, root to root. So what will happen is, so note, this is good only for the user, specific user. You have to establish same thing for each user. You have to establish same connection for each user. Okay, but normally that is not allowed here. Usually the root user is the one who is able to do passwordless. Some applications, they have only like 5 or 10 servers, they may be able to do it. Okay, you still have to know the other server's password before you really do it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna secure some security here. Okay,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, मैं हूं आपका मेज़बान हुसैन और बिटने नया पाकिस्तान। नाज़रीन, आज हम मौजूद हूं रावलपिंडी के इलाके दारुल उलूम फैज़ल कुरान, जहां तारीख आपको पिछला 30 साल से जहां इमामत के फ़राइज़ हैं।
SSH So in here, I'm gonna, okay, so the key was generated, the public key is copied to, actually this looks bad. I'll shift this around, okay? Okay, I think this is good. Okay, I'll leave this alone. Okay, so we have the passwordless connection set up here. So but in reality, what you have to do is you have to set up some security here, okay? Because on the server, okay, on the real server, you are not allowed to connect directly. You are not allowed to connect directly to the root user, okay? Just imagine if you are able to connect to the server directly as a root user and that password got compromised, that whoever took that password is I mean, whoever have the access, they could do, if they have a malicious intent, they could do a lot of damage. Okay, so good rule of thumb is, like here I'm connecting from one server to another server as root here, right? That is very bad. Normally you shouldn't be doing that at your work. If you are working in a big environment, all these things are actually audited, and you don't have to worry about too much that you are connecting directly as root. It's never allowed. So let's see here. Okay, now we're going to do configure host security. Host security. So what we're going to do is deny direct root connection. So what will happen here is we're going to secure this host 2 so that the root, you cannot have a direct SSH connection here, okay? So let's see here. So what will happen is we're going to go into clear this. We're going to go into vi/etc/ssh/ssh_config. Okay, we'll go into this file here. Remember, this is a etc folder, so I told you a long time ago, etc holds the configuration files. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. And what I'm looking for is, I'm going to look for permit root logon. Okay, so let's see here. Host identify port 22 protocol.
Permit logon.
Permit root logon.
Permit local command number. That one permit. That is not right. Okay.
Yeah, it's permit local command on. So what I'll do is you go at the end of the file and type permit root login, then space, then type no. Okay.
To deny the direct password connection, passwordless connection, right?
Yeah. No, any connection, passwordless or with password.
Okay.
Root cannot log in directly.
Directly से mean क्या है सब यहाँ पे? From another server?
Yeah, another server. You know how we are connecting like SSH, and then we are
Okay.
just typing the IP address. Boom, you are getting in there. Even you're putting in the password, you're getting in there as a root. So it's gonna deny that. I'll show you. I'll show you. We'll connect separately from Putty and see if it's gonna do that. Okay.
Okay.
So now what it's gonna do is what I'm gonna do is um, actually add this line end of the file if it not already there. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna restart the SSH service. Okay, so let's do systemctl restart SSH D. So now when you restart something, the changes will take effect. Yeah, actually I should be highlighting all these things here. All right, you got that. You guys got the idea. I'm not gonna waste too much time here. Okay, now let's do here. So let's go ahead and do this the same thing, and I'll hit enter. It says bad configuration option permitted, not permitted. So what happened here is, let me exit this. Let's do this here. It says root logged in. Let me restart one more time. Um, so it is allowing it. I have to permit root login. I have to check this. Alright, let's test something from putty. I'm gonna start putty here, okay? I'm gonna start one putty here. ZMPT. Okay, 51, right? So I'm gonna type in the root and I'm gonna type in Red Hat password. It says it's logging in, so we have to look in. Um, I may have to do something like this, give it a space. It's doing that. Root. Let's take a look here why it's doing that. Permit loop login. That's what I'm doing. This on CentOS. Okay, let's match this here. Permit root login space no. I don't see any difference in there. This is weird. This is weird. SSH config. Maybe I have to put this on the top. This is configuration, host, authentication. Okay, and okay, it's working now. Oh, maybe not. We'll see if it's gonna take that password. Ah, what is going on over here? Okay, so let's try it here. Exit. Let me try root at. Yeah, it's connecting without problem. What am I missing here? Append or modify the block root. Deny user's root. Okay. I have no idea why it's not working. I do this every day, not every day, but quite often. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is deny root login. Not working. So it's all same thing. That's exactly what we're doing right now. Let me do this here. Let's restart, okay? By the way, when you are at work, if you need to restart, you just simply can't make your own decision and restart the system. Okay, don't do that, because even if it's not a production server, it could be important server. So you have to check with the application team what if they could restart it. Yeah, so there will be more than 2 or 3 different teams you have to get approval before you really start.
In your career, have you ever restarted without taking a permission, sir?
No. You if you want to get fired, okay. If you're pissed off, you pack up everything and go ahead and restart and leave. Okay, don't come back. You will, especially if you
Sometimes by mistake happens, you know.
that's why you don't do a lot. There are a lot of things you could do without being a root. I'll show you in a sudo file. You do a lot of things without being a root as a regular user. And then when it comes to really doing like for example restart and really doing some important works, then you switch as you root, then you do other tasks. But if you want to do real damage here, I can't stop you. I don't know why this is not working. See, I could go in just fine. Maybe SSH. Well, we'll worry about that a little later. Let's move forward here, okay? So,
नहीं अच्छी नहीं है आवाज.
yeah. So what else you could do is, there are a lot of things that you could do in configuration. Deny the root user and then deny the network it's coming from too. You could also deny the network. So usually you go in here, you go into the same box, okay? And then config. Let's see if we have listen. Let me do this here. Maybe the configuration file in here is corrupted, okay? So let me try to download a fresh one from internet. Yum provides SSHD. So actually, let me uninstall it and reinstall this. Let me go into this folder and see how old these files are. This file is from August 2019. Yum update. Permit tunnel, permit. Okay, this, the one we have is corrupt, I think. So let's copy this. SSH config.default here. So before that, let me go ahead and check if it's already there. Oh! Which file I've been using so far?
Config.
I've been using wrong file all along. No wonder. I've been using a wrong file.
SSH config यूज कर रहे ना सर?
हाँ नहीं, मैं इसके अंदर दो है. यहाँ देखो SSH config एक है, SSH config D है. So we are supposed to do change the SSH config file. So let's go ahead and reset the other one. Clear. Okay, yeah, I know this. Okay, so we'll just save everything and exit out of here.
SSH D में करना है हमने.
Yeah. So now look at the file name. This is D. Okay, it is different. It looks alike, but it's not the same file.
क्या?
Okay. It happens, man. Come on.
ये खुद करके देखेंगे पहले प्रैक्टिकल था.
Okay, now if you go in there, you have a lot more information here, right? So, login, grace time, permit. There you go. Permit root login. What do you have to do is we just have to make it no. Okay, no. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight this in big fat letters here.
वो टाइम खराब करे तुम लोग.
You at least getting paid, right? On during Christmas time and a big holiday season, there is no what do you call it? There is a blackout. You can't go into servers because a lot of businesses, they have good business going on, right? So they don't want anything going in there, anybody going in there and messing around with this. So you will have some downtime, so you could watch videos at work. When I was Apple, when they are announcing the product, they are like a day before when they announce the product and almost a day after when they announce the product. 2 days before and 1 day after, there is blackout. Nobody could log in, servers, nothing. Because apparently one time they didn't do that, and then one time Steve Jobs was doing presentation, and then the whole system blew up. So he didn't want to have any chances. So usually they do it like, if you want to do any really, really important changes, you have to get it from like the top executive level permission to do any changes or even log into the servers. So you have to do this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save and exit and restart the service. Okay, now let me do SSH. Oh God, no. Let me try this here. Root. It's not working still. SSH deconfig. Let me, okay, yeah, let me do this.
Wow. हैश का मतलब कमेंट है ना सब वो तो.
Yeah, comment out.
So it means it doesn't work there.
Some files, they will. Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's working now.
Yeah, वो comment निकालना जरूर था.
Now even we have SSH established, is asking for the password. Yeah, it's working now, finally. So I'm gonna take a good screenshot of this here and
I think these all are options are open, but they have commented. I don't know what is the reason.
yeah, if the comment is there, that means that option is not available. That option is the file is not reading it.
Yeah, the options are available. Where necessity comes, we go and change it.
So here this option is on. Here this option is on. All these
Yeah.
are off.
What kind of question can come in the interview for this topic, sir?
For this one, they're not going to ask you this deep. They'll ask you. They'll ask you a question. Can you establish a passwordless connection between two hosts? The answer would
Uh-huh.
be yes or no. Yes. Okay. So I think we're close to time. But here, so in this scenario, we denied the root user here. So root user is not able to connect. Okay. So what else you could do is you could deny the access coming from the you could deny access coming from a particular network also. For that, you have to look for listen. Let me start from the bottom here. Okay, so look for listen. Also, we could have left that line alone. We could have also put that all there on the bottom of the file without hash. Authorized.
This is like a first step file, huh?
Okay, right here, listen address, right?
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is, let's go ahead and deny.
But how you do find the that connection is coming from that network?
Okay, yeah. So what you have to do is, so you do IPA, and then you look at the IP address, right? 192.168.56.10. Okay, now this one is 10.0.2.5, right? So let's try. One 192.168.37.35. Okay, hold on. I am on another network here. I'm on a different computer here, right? So look up here, IPA. For this computer, 192. Ping. Ten 10.0.2.5. Yeah, I can't connect the ping from somewhere else. Okay, let's do something here. So what we'll do is we'll deny host from this connection here, right? So 192.168.56.0.
150 है ना साहब? 150.
हाँ 150 है ना. तो अब जो है उसका बेस, आई थिंक इन नेटवर्किंग आई सेड it starts from it holds 256 IP addresses, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it starts from 0. The sub since it's /24, so it holds 256 boxes here. So let's go ahead and /24 is 24 is 256. So what we could do is we'll find this IP address here, okay? And then instead of 150, we'll put down 0 to 256. Okay, so let me copy that. So you unhash this, okay? Unhash this, and you go here, and what will happen is go into insert mode, and then you paste it here, okay, and you type 0/24. Okay, let me save and exit. I may get disconnected myself. Okay, and then I'm going to restart the SSHD. Failed because the control exited without. (192.168.56.0/24) listen address. Okay, let's try connecting it here anyway. So connect to the host. Connection refused. Actually, it's working. Did you see that when it says connection is refused, it detected this configuration file and it detected the IP address in here. So that's how they secure the connection coming from. If they have something, if the server is internal and not supposed to connect from outside, then you'll figure out the outside IP address and you perform these actions. So what you could do is deny network connection. Deny connection from specific network. Okay, IPA. What is the NAT? Give me 1 second here. Yeah, I'm not worried about that here. The only thing I'm able to show you is the connection is refused. That means it is working. Okay, so I'm gonna end in about few minutes. Give me 1 second here. So you listen on port, you would add this there. Okay, and when you connect from the post, the connection is refused. Even though SSH is set up here. So these are all the security stuff here you'll be doing in your work. And so what else you could do is um,
How much time they will allow us to do this?
no, I mean this is the engineering part. There is no time limit.
How quickly we have to do, suppose?
No, the troubleshooting part you will already be have in there, okay? Because we spent half hour just looking around working in a wrong file. So if you're getting stuck, you talk to somebody at your work. Usually they have run books. Okay, those things are in place, and and then there is a engineering team, or it could be a problem with network itself. So you never know what is going on, but all those things, every environment is different here. I go from one place to another place. They have different ways of doing things here. Sometimes it depends on the industry too. If it's a financial place like bank or something like that, they have compliance to follow, so they are more stringent about this. Okay, but this is the engineering part. You do this on one server, and then make the image. You do all the configuration, everything. You bake it into one system, and then you'll clone. You make a clone out of this and clone thousands of other servers.
Okay.
You know about cloning, right? I mean,
Yep.
yeah. So it doesn't matter how much time you spend on one server. The other ones you're not spending any time.
Right.
Okay, I'll stop here and I'll pick it up from here. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Everybody have a good day.